Padres and Dodgers, both in the headlines for a lot of different reasons. The Padres go through a bumping ride at Wrigley Field in Chicago. Nick Pivetta gets rocked, couldn't throw strikes. In fact, Padres starting rotations got issues right now with balls and strikes, an awful lot of pitches, an awful lot of bases on balls through the first group of games this season. I was a little bit stunned because they needed Pivetta to really step up and have a strong outing. And instead, he went 3 innings, allowed 5 base runners, had 5 walks. They yanked him after 76 pitches. There's no doubt that he was a little bit overamped, but they really need to settle the starting pitching down, him, King, and Cease, because all those guys have piled up a lot of pitches in each of their starts. Kyle Hart didn't get out of the first inning. 4 runs, 4 walks. You're not pitching in Korea, that's for certain. He lasted only 2/3 of an inning. The starter in waiting down at El Paso, Stephen Kolek, 4 innings, 6 runs, 10 hits. He got raked at El Paso. Bullpen, they pitched pretty well, led by Robert Suarez. However, because the starters aren't getting a lot of innings, a little bit worried about the bullpen burnout there with the Padres. John, they're on to play Sacramento. This is going to be an interesting 3 games in a minor league ballpark. Padres should sweep these guys, but we should think about what happened in Wrigleyville. And you worried about the pitching a little bit here right out of the gate?
Yeah, that was really like a weird game, the one that Kyle Hart started for the Padres. But, you got to love him coming back in that final game. We thought it was going to be smooth and easy, but Chicago's still a legit team, and you got that. What's that kid's name that came over from the Astros? Kyle Tucker. Yeah. So, he's good. He hit at least 1 bomb in that series. But,
isn't it most interesting? I said on KUSI on Saturday morning, I did my sports package from the airport in Virginia. I said, Shoto Imanaga is one of the best pitchers out of Japan. Nobody pays attention to.
I
agree. He choked the Padres in that start on Friday. Do you know his record is 21-3 since he came from Japan, and he gets no national publicity at all. Granted, Ohtani deserves a ton, but Imanaga is 21-3, which is absolutely amazing. Okay, so that's the Padre headline. Dodger headline. Dodgers got a taste of Philadelphia Philly fan. Dodgers got booed. Man, did they get booed Friday. Did they get booed on Saturday? And then they gave it away in a sloppy, rainy conditions on Sunday. Evil Empire got boosted. Now, they wasted a really good outing by Yash Yamamoto Friday when 6 innings, gave up 1 run. Tommy Edman hit another home run. He's off to a tremendous start. And the Dodgers, wasted that opportunity. The fans booed the hell out of Roki Sasaki when he started on Saturday. The most amazing thing to me, think about this. Sasaki's first start was in Japan, big-time pressure. Second start, Dodger Stadium, unbelievable big-time pressure. Third start in the raucous, angry environment that is Philadelphia, city of not so much brotherly love from the baseball fans there. So Sasaki he's tasted an awful lot. Dodgers got out of that thing alive. There's good news, there's bad news with the Dodgers. Ohtani has now thrown 2 bullpen sessions. He cranked it up to 26 pitches, throwing fastballs and his sliders. So far, so good. The Dodgers have decided they're going to let him throw a loose bullpen session on Thursday, full bullpen session on Saturday going forward as they try to ramp him up for getting him back into the rotation. The bad news, Blake Snell goes on the disabled list. Shoulder tendonitis after a really rocky outing. Blake Snell has really struggled. In 2 games, he's thrown 9 innings. He's given up 7 runs. He's walked 8 batters. His pitch count is just kind of through the roof. And all of a sudden, he's got inflammation in the shoulder. So he's shut down for at least 15 days. Tyler Glasnow was pitching well his first start coming out of spring training. And he totally got out of sync in the rain and the slop on Sunday. They had to go get him in 2 innings. He allowed a lot of runs, a lot of walks, could not control the baseball. So there's that issue there. But the Dodgers are the Dodgers, and I think they're going to be really good. Now, what happened today? What happened this afternoon? The Dodgers went to the White House. And we had great dialogue a couple of weeks ago on this podcast about whether the Dodgers should do this and be honored by the president. Would the president make it a political statement? Would it be a photo op opportunity? I was all in favor of the Dodgers going because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to be in the Oval Office, have the picture taken out front the White House, etc. You don't have to like the man, respect the presidency and the honor that's accorded to a champion, so they got to go. That was what I said. I sat there and I watched the photo op of Trump with Shohei Ohtani. And Trump whispered in his ear about what a great player he was and all that. I wonder if Trump told Ohtani, I'll pardon everybody else. Maybe I shouldn't pardon Mizuhara, who, by the way, is going to be sentenced to 57 months in prison shortly. I wonder if Ohtani whispered back, how come you offered tariffs on my country? You didn't offer tariffs to Russia, sir? Just absolutely amazing. And social media went crazy within seconds after the Trump-Ohtani standalone picture at the White House. So I feel good for the Dodger players, once in a lifetime opportunity to be there, visit the White House, etc. But this was kind of bizarre. And Trump did what I thought Trump would do. He refused to introduce any of the Democratic senators from Congress who were there to participate, who shook the hands of Dave Roberts. He refused to recognize any of them because he doesn't like those guys. So it was Trump being Trump. And by the way, out-of-town scoreboard, for those of you who voted for that guy, a week ago, Dow Jones was at 44,000. Today it's at 37,000. Your guy not doing a good job. So John, that's one man's opinion on the Dodger blue at the White House. What'd you think?
Okay, guy, I mean, there's just a lot in there. I mean, as far as the whole Trump thing, I mean, I don't know. We knew he'd spin it in a weird way, and yeah, not saying, recognizing especially the senators from California that are Democrats, because they're probably there because of their guys, the Dodgers. We knew that was going to turn into a mess. But the Dodgers, yeah, they got a little dose of humility. I mean, both teams were riding those undefeated streaks, and both of those streaks came to an end.
Yeah, exactly. And now the Dodgers have experienced what I thought they would experience. The evil umpire is going to get booed as the enemy in every stadium going forward. Does it mean a hill of beans on the field? No, it probably does not. But that's the atmosphere. And how about Sasaki? Could you imagine the three worst places to have to make your major league debut? Now, he did pitch well against the Phillies after obviously having to be pulled in the first and second innings of his first two starts. But that poor kid in the environment that they gave him the ball said, go do your job, rookie. Wow.
Yeah. Welcome to America, for that kid. He's going to be fine. I know that his performances was a little bit better, actually quite a bit better. So he's going to be fine. And then the Blake Snell news is like, oh, man, Blake, we all love, at least I do. I'm a big fan of Blake, the guy. I think he's a fun guy. But it's weird how the beginning of the season, he's gone through injury issues, or he just can't pitch well. So maybe they just put him in the closet with all the other Cy Young pitchers, roll someone else out, and then they can start Blake Snell up around, Independence Day.
The Dodgers now have 12 pitchers on the disabled list. Think about that. We're only a couple weeks into the baseball season, and they got 12 guys currently on the DL. Okay, John, so we go from Padres to Dodgers. We're inviting Padre and Dodger fans to jump on board. Or you think there'll be a few people with opinions about the honorarial ceremonies at the White House today? Fans forum chat box is open. You want to comment on what John had to say. You're not going to make any comments about what I had to say, but feel free. Jump on board. Fans forum chat box is open. Anybody, everybody entitled. Other breaking stories.